celebrate our guest, fellow Mendel Monarch. Let's just bring him on.
Bring
Fellow
him on.
Mendel Monarch, DJ Big Ken. What's happening? What's happening?
Big
My
kid.
brothers, Blue Smoke.
Blue smoke. Blue smoke.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, it's all good. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm wonderful, man. Now that I've done all my running around and all of my honeydew Saturday list stuff, got that out the way. So now it's time to kick back and hang out with you fellas for a bit.
That's good. I mean, now that we are on, hopefully the other side of this COVID thing, hope your family has come through well and no challenges there.
Yeah, funny story. Just the other day, my wife, she never gets sick, and she the little bug hit her, so she took a COVID test on Wednesday, I think it was. Because whenever you get the least little twitch in the throat, it's like, oh my God, I got to go take a COVID test. And again, she never gets sick. So she was sick. And then the next day, I started getting sick. So she went and got a COVID test. Thank God it came back negative. But as she was getting better, I started getting worse. But I kind of played off of her thing. I'm like, okay, well, if she has COVID, then I definitely have it. So her thing came back negative. So I'm good now. But it's like the least little thing. It's like, and I'm double vaxxed, double boosted and everything. So luckily, it wasn't an issue, but it was just a little, I guess, 24-hour bug or something that we both had.
Yeah, and that's so good to hear because, we've had guests on and, it's just been a mixed bag. Some people finding a whole lot of challenge with it, but hopefully we are moving on the other side. But it's good to be with you, brother. Tell us a little bit about you, your background, where you came from, where you went to school, how you got into this thing called house.
Oh, man. So originally from the Chi, of course, you all know. Went to grammar school, race school in Hyde Park. Ended up coming to Mendel in 1983. Yeah, came straight out of 8th grade. Went into Mendel. Stayed at Mendel for 2 years, and I ended up moving to St. Louis to live with my dad. So I finished out high school in St. Louis. But as far as this whole house music thing, I mean, it started 7th grade, going to the playgrounds, listening to Farley and Steve and them do it at the playgrounds. And 8th grade, I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to DJ. So my cousin, British, she went to Kenwood, and Kenwood is like the house mecca, DJ mecca, because Andre Hatchett and all of them were, when I was coming out of 8th grade, she was going into high school. So she ended up hooking me up with Keith Fobbs, who actually taught me how to DJ. So this was 83. And I went in, first thing I wanted to do was play Go Bang. That's all I wanted to do. Mix Go Bang in. Fobbs had me beat matching Billie Jean for about 3 weeks. That's all I did for about 3 weeks. Billie Jean to learn how to beat match. And I'm like, look, man, I want to play Go Bang. I want to, play Let's Go Dancing and all of that stuff. So I just wanted to start blending. But, I guess he knew what he was doing. So it was about 3 weeks of just do and learning how to double up and all that and get the beat matching down on 12s, because everybody's like, oh, if you didn't learn how to play on 12s, you're not a real DJ. But and then after a while, man, my grandmother ended up blessing me for a Christmas gift, getting me some, I had some Technique 3200s. And oh my God, I had a Gemini mixer. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a Mix 66 or something. But it was the silver Gemini with the EQ on the top and the echo chamber. And at Mendel, that's kind of what kicked everything off. Dewey, I don't know if you remember Joe Stamps and Tudor, Algernon, and all of them. Oh, yeah. They would come over to my crib. I was a freshie. They was juniors, and I had the equipment, and it kind of all just kicked off from there, man.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Hey, welcome on in, everybody. I see you coming on. We are hanging out with DJ Big Ken, and he's just telling us how he got started. Why do you think house music, even this, so many years later, Ken, is just as popular as ever?
Well, I mean, this is just, my opinion, but coming from the era of disco, because if you all remember, before it was house music, it was punk out. Remember, Herb Kent had to punk out, so it was kind of, it wasn't even house. House wasn't even a phrase yet when we started, when I started getting into the music and listening to the Herb Kent show. But once it evolved into house music, which originated in Chi. We're not, New York has their idea of garage and club and all of that. House music started in the Chi, for those of you all that didn't know. But as of now, as far as house music, I mean, it's huge. And it's so many different avenues of house. You got the Afro house, you got jukin, you got the deep house, which from our generation, deep house was old school disco, right? Deep house now has a totally different terminology to it, in my opinion. Deep house is more eclectic and it's not that old disco feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, thanks to the pioneers, Farley, Steve Hurley, and those guys, took it overseas and brought it nationwide, and me, I think I'm a late bloomer. I kind of was doing it early on in high school and in college down at SIU. Then I kind of fell out of it. And then I got that love and feeling again. And now it's just, that's all I want to do now.
Yeah, a lot of people have come back to house, after they've done their careers, raised their families and all of that good stuff.
Perfect example is Dewey B.
Yeah, welcome back. Hey, DJ Dewey B, Big Ken was talking about, all these different genres of house and what deep house was versus what we call it now. Your thoughts on that?
He's totally correct. Deep house is just something that takes you to a deeper level is what I'm taking it as, where, it's some organ play, it's some live bass, soulful singing, soulful house. That's what I try to play in soulful house. So it's all deep, man. It's all deep. It's supposed to get deep into your heart and your soul and make you want to move your butt.
Definitely. And I think what you're saying, like now, that's what deep house is considered. Right. But when we were, think about when we were at Mendel and growing up, deep house was like the dirty 30s, let's go dancing, I want to go bang, all of the disco that was, and some of the B-side tracks that were being played was considered deep house then. I remember when I moved out here, I was having a conversation with some brothers that were from Jersey that were like there when the garage started. And we were having a conversation about deep house and what I thought deep house was opposed to what they thought deep house was. And it was two totally different. We were on two totally different sides of the spectrum on our definition of deep house. So, I mean, even now, when you go and you search for music on these platforms, what they consider deep house is kind of some of that deep house. I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's very deep.
I'm going to tell you the truth, Ken. I don't really ever look at the tags, man.
Uh-huh.
I listen to the track. I'll go down every single genre on Track Source and listen to the top 10 just because I know it's misconstrued in some sort of way. Some of this stuff gets miscompiled in different directions.
Yeah, and put in a different category when it should be. So you really can't. Something that is soulful may be in the deep house category.
You got it.
You do got to just go through and just like you in a record store going through vinyl. You got to dig through them crates, Yep. And with me, it's like in the first, I don't know, I give a song, like when I'm searching for music, I give a song maybe 10 seconds. I know if it's something that I'm feeling. If I'm not feeling it in 10 seconds, then I'm on to the next track.
That's it. This is the chords. If you hit me with some organ chords, the traditional.
And I love vocals. I love vocals, man.
Me too.
I love female singing. And me personally, when I'm spinning, I'm playing to the females and the alternative crowd because those are the ones that's going to be out on the dance floor. Those are going to be the ones buying drinks, If you DJing and you like, come on, all my fellas, let's get on the dance floor. Then that ain't gonna work.
Hey, you gonna have a fight. You gonna have a fight in a minute. That's what you gonna have.
Hey, well, you're listening to House Culture Conversations. Our guest, DJ Big Ken. We see y'all out there coming in. I see the Depths of the Underground family out there. I see all of y'all. I might not be seeing your comments. They're coming in from different places where people are streaming from. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Big Ken, who were some of your influences?
Man, so many. Dewey B was one in high school. Dewey B, yeah, I don't know if you realize you was the man back when we was so I was in Mendel 83, 84, 85. That's when you were like the man. Every party was a Dewey B party. So Dewey was a huge influence. Alan King, Keith Fobbs, Frank. I remember having a conversation with Frankie Knuckles at the 67th Street Lofts. And I was talking to Frankie and I was like, man, how come you don't play, Peaches and Prunes? And because for a while I was one of those cats that all I wanted to hear was the Dirty 30s. I didn't want to hear nothing new, and I was talking to Frankie. I was like, man, how come you don't, play that stuff? And he was like, man, I'll probably never play that because the music evolves. And as a DJ, you got to evolve with the music, so he was a huge influence. So many people, man, Wayne Williams, pretty much all of the Chosen Few DJs. But even cats, like DJ 50 Mills, Brett Morrison, my guy Tony Mad, which the first time I ever heard a house music mix, I stole a tape from my cousin British, and it was a tape by Tony Mad, and that's kind of what kicked it off. So he's a huge influence, man. Farley, it's so many cats that are at the top of their game. That I've kicked it with, Gene Hunt, Glenn Underground, it's too many to name,
Yeah, you shared the stage with some pretty. You shared the stage with some pretty cool folks. What's one or two of your most memorable experiences DJing with some of your idols or some of the icons?
Okay, so one of my best memories, and it wasn't even DJing at a club or nothing. It was DJing at Club Cove. So behind the museum, the boat dock, but it was probably 50 boats tied up right on 53rd, right at the Cove. And we had one boat. Tony Shelton's boat was the DJ booth. So it was me, Craig Alexander, 50 Mills, Gene. It was a couple other people, but that was probably one of the best times because it was so different. We were on the water DJing, and when the waves was rocking the boat, you had to kind of hold on to the boat and hold the pitch and blend, and it was wild, but it was so much fun, man, because it was just it was different, and we were on the water and everybody was rocking, having fun. Everybody was on jet skis. So that was one of the best moments in that I did as a DJ. That stands out when I think about something. That's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, what's one of your other memorable moments from back in the day?
Let me think. It's hard, man. It's so many. My first picnic that I threw a South Suburban house music picnic out in Olympia Fields. Man, this had to be, 2001, 2002, something like that. But Jamie, Allen, Terry James, Brett Morrison, Miss Nikki. I think that was even before Miss Nikki was DJing, but she was there. But that was a great event that we had, man, and it was really fun, sun up to sundown. And the thing that was so funny about that day, the power was out in the whole city of Olympia Fields. Wow. And we were out in the park, and we were the only people that had electricity and had like whole Olympia Fields bumping with music. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's another memory. Nothing super exciting, but again, about memories of of me DJing and DJing with my buddies, that comes to mind.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, just some of the folks you share the stage with makes it memorable.
Oh,
Just some of these people, you look at them now, and we've been doing 30 to 40 years of this, and they're still at it. And, it's just continuing to gain momentum around the world. It's just amazing. DJ Dewey V, what's one of your experiences? Big Ken said you really made an impact on him.
Well, I got to play a few parties back then, but for the most part, all of those parties were pretty much Little John. Little John's one of my favorite DJs. Dope from beginning to end. I give him much props. Farley, Andre, Keith Fobbs stole a lot of parties and a lot of women from me. I don't know him, but he did. He was,
my God,
world renowned. He was world renowned. Probably still is out there doing his thing right now. Yeah.
Well, I'd be remiss not to say what's up to DJ Daryl Mello, man. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by House Culture Conversations. And everybody leaning in, we appreciate you so much for hanging out.
Hey, Dewey, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What was your most memorable moment DJing at the Mendel Gym?
The gym, man. I played. We had a battle of the DJs for Mendel DJs, basically.
What year was this?
That was 84.
Okay.
I do believe that was 84.
Okay.
And I had gone to Imports and bought some records, right?
Okay.
and the guys I was playing with, East Move and my man Bill Morton. Bill Morton actually taught me how to spin. A couple other guys played, Ken Johnson. But I had bought the Let No Man Put Us Under, the Shep Pettibone mixes, and I played that, and I played Harvey Thurman, Underwater. I played all this deep stuff. That was deep back then.
Thank you. Underwater is definitely one of a deep house classic.
Yes. Love No Money. I was playing all them Farley records that I heard at Sowers way back in the day, just jacking, and they gave me the win over all them cats who were probably better than me, but I still got the win that night. That was probably my best night.
So, you guys bring up a great conversation, because I always say, the job of the DJ is to curate the groove. It's so much about your record selection and how you tell a story with that music. How have you guys developed your ear for that?
Well, I mean, personally, as far as having an ear, I mean, I've had a lot of influences as far as music, that I think tuned my ear. DJs that I've heard play in the past and DJs that play currently kind of put me on to stuff, even, music that, I don't think I would have played that, but I heard this cat play and it sounds really good, so I think I'm going to try it out. So even my aunt, way back in the day as a kid, my aunt told me I had a great ear for music, because I would just go through, my mom's music and make tapes and stuff on Memorex back in the day, if it was live on Memorex. And I would just have a playlist, and I would put it on while my aunts and everybody are kicking it and partying, and they would dance to the music that I put together, on a tape. And my aunt told me I had a great ear, and to this day, that still sticks with me. So, I mean, I guess it's just, as far as knowing house music and knowing what you feel. Like with me, music, if I feel it, I'm going to play it. I don't care if nobody likes it, and my wife is an old head. So she's a dirty 30 lover, so all she want to hear is what we grew up to. And I get it in some of the new stuff, but we go back and forth, and I'll be like, how do you not like that? You're not feeling this? And she was like, I wouldn't really dance to this, but it's banging, So everybody has a different ear, man, but when it comes to playing for a crowd, you definitely have to play what moves the crowd. You definitely have to be able to read your crowd, to get them dancing. Because that's your job as a DJ to pack it.
DJ Dewey B, your thoughts?
Well, I trust a lot of good DJs, man. You want to talk about Big Ken? He put me up on the streaming game. Ken sent me some tracks that put me up on the game. He's like, "Hey, man, you playing some good records, but play these, play this. These are the ones that's happening." So Ken got me back into what we call today is this streaming game. DJ DLott plays some great hits. You got to listen to him and listen to where he's going with them. I don't appreciate a lot of music for just how it's like slamming into my head. I'm listening for the chord structure, the hook, what are you saying when you say what you say? You got to say something to me, say something to my heart. And that's the type of DJs I listen to. Terry Hunter, I mean, Brett Morrison. Yes, these are cats that's playing. Gene Hunt, Vic Lavender. I mean, we could go.
Oh my God, Vic is the man. Vic, I tell Vic all the time, whatever you making, dude, I'm playing it. I don't even care.
There it is. So,
one thing
Steve. I started listening to Depths of the Underground. It was just me and a few other people listening to it. Them cats was, man, jacking like they grew up here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They jacked on that show.
Going to Depths of the Underground, that really, and why I enjoy playing on Depths of the Underground, and I'm gonna talk about having to play after DLott a couple of weeks ago, but Depths of the Underground really gave me the opportunity to just expand my vision and just kind of go wherever I want to go and take chances on music and play stuff that I normally wouldn't play, like if I was playing out somewhere or just making my own mix or playing on my show. I play a lot of stuff that I would normally play and take and give it a chance, and the reaction that I get from the audience of Depths of the Underground, and it's a international audience, is like amazing. So it's that, and then to be able to play with other DJs from across the pond, like DLott, when we played the Super Saturdays, we got Mary Blue from Spain, we got Stewart from the UK, Soul Gasman from England, or maybe vice versa. So to be able to play with cats from around the world and have an audience from around the world, that to me, that's the same as playing overseas, getting on a plane and going overseas, but I'm doing it at the crib.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely more convenient. And I will tell you what I've learned, just from hanging out with DJ Dewey B over the years, carrying crates and all that. You got to listen to the music. You got to listen to a lot of music. You have to listen to what people are playing and to, do your point. What is it saying? Most DJs are taking you on a trip. They are telling a story with these records, the way they're putting them together, and you got to listen to a lot of music. I remember I called Dewey one night. He's like, "Man, I'm on tilt. I done bought 60 new tracks tonight. You gotta help me. You gotta help me. I don't know how to stop." And I don't know. He must have been up at 3, 4 in the morning, just on Track Source getting tracks. I was like, it's you're always seeking that sound and that vibe and curating the groove.
I've had to train myself to not go on any music platforms to buy music while I'm at work. Because next thing I know, it'll be 2 hours that I've lost, and don't even care because I'm just like in the zone looking for music, So I try not to search for music while I'm at work, but pretty much daily. Hopefully my boss ain't watching because she kicks it with me on social media. But pretty much daily, I'm in some type of online music store.
Well, we definitely appreciate your commitment to the craft, even if it is, something you're a weekend warrior. But you put your time into the craft. You're just not out there playing games, and that's important because it is a skill and it is a culture that we need to take care of. We want to continue the curation of great music, supporting the music. DJ Dewey B always says, support the artist, buy music,
Mhm.
and we do just that. And I appreciate that so much. We talked a little bit about streaming, but how do you feel about getting back out there playing live?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I love playing. I mean, there's nothing like feeling that energy of your dance floor. There's nothing like seeing your people feel what you're doing and react to what you're doing. You know, I mean, a DJ, we're artists. Just like people cook. People paint. It's you're doing it to get a reaction from that crowd, and I truly am passionate about seeing people react, even if I'm not DJing, even if I'm just throwing an event. It's something that I put together that I can see people having a good time and react from something that came from my mind. you know. So as far as the whole streaming thing, I mean, I love that. I love. There's nothing like playing in front of a crowd. You know, I mean, you get that feeling when you streaming and your chat room got 200-300 people. Yeah, that's great. Even your chat room may have 50 people. You on that day, hey, that's great. But we're in a different time now. When we were thick in COVID, the stream thing was going down. I mean, we were getting paid to do virtual parties, be a virtual DJ for a party. I've made a few dollars doing it. But that was a different time. But once people started getting back out to the clubs, the viewers started going down. And it's just like having a club. Some days your clubs are packed, some days they're not. It's the same thing with the video shows or the streaming shows. Some days you got hundreds of people kicking it with you. Some days, you got only 30 or 20 people. But 30 people, 100 people, I'm gonna play like I'm playing in front of a million people. Because I just love to play.
That's it. That's it. Well, hey, man, this has been fantastic. I'm going to leave this question with you. Where do you see house going?
I mean, it's definitely not going to stop. I do have some concerns about, most of the people that really enjoy house music the way we do are our age. So I am concerned about how we pass it off to the younger generation, and hopefully, this whole Beyonce Drake house music remix thing, brings that crowd in. But I mean, it's never going to stop. House music is going to continue on. As long as people like us are giving it to them and expanding off of what we grew up on, it's going to continue to rock and roll.
Yeah. DJ Dewey B, your thoughts on future generations as we think about house in the future?
My son is 19 going on 20, and he started asking me about the music because of what Drake is doing. So it's an inroads. It's an inroads to the younger generation. Also, I would be remiss, and we talking about playing out. My boy, actually a person that I trust his opinion on this music more than anything, Braxton Holmes is playing tomorrow night, Sunday night at the Smart Bar. So if you want to get a nice good beat down and some great music, come out tomorrow at the Smart Bar and listen to Braxton. He'll be playing tomorrow night. But that's Braxton and Ken are younger than we are, and they are the future that's going to carry it on to the future. So they'll be giving it up to their sons and daughters, and they'll start listening to this music differently. House, classic disco, classic house, 4/4 beat music has got to get into your soul, and it always does, man. No matter what, no matter how you look at it, if it's a Madonna track, if it's a Beyonce track, it always gets into your soul. So
Exactly.
you can't fight it. You're not gonna be able to fight the younger generation getting on top of this because
Yeah.
it just happens.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, DJ.
funny story. So I have they just turned 22 on the 17th of this month.
Yeah.
I have triplet boys, okay, 22-year-old triplet boys. Tried, they love going out, kicking it to parties, tried to get them into DJing, and they were more wanting to hang out. I mean, I had a whole business plan written out for them, how they can do it, a promotional plan, a DJ name. It's three of y'all. One of y'all could be DJing. The other two could be out hyping the crowd. Y'all still at the party, but you all are the party. And they didn't grab a hold to it, man. And that kind of like blew me. I was like, how do you all not take advantage of this as much as you all want to party and get your hustle on? My thing was I had a whole plan where they can make X amount of dollars per party. All the people that they know that throw parties, they could have been doing 2-3 parties a night, But it's not for everybody. Some people just want to dance.
Yeah.
Some people just want to party, and some people want to provide the soundtrack to that party. So it's not for everybody. But
yes,
when Dewey was talking about his shorty, I just had to. That made me think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you took the sound out to the West Coast. Tell us a little bit about the West Coast, and then plugged up to the underground again.
So luckily, I came out to Phoenix, and there was already house music following here. So luckily, I was able to kind of just put my own little thing to it. But I mean, initially coming out here again, when I first got here, I thought I was the end all be all of house music. It's a couple of cats out here that and shout out to Sinbad and Pete Silas. They own a club downtown called Barsmith. It's a rooftop club, and they pretty much have house music on lock here in Arizona. Okay, so when I first got here, I was like, oh, they're not playing real house music, and I started, I was all on social media, come to our show, listen to this. Is when we were streaming and we were doing Saturday afternoon cartoons. We're giving you that real SHIT, not that bull SHIT. So that was me. Jamie 326 called me one day. He was like, yo, fam, you need to really slow down because you never know who you're gonna need, who's watching you. I understand you from Chicago, but just because you're from Chicago doesn't mean you can just go into somebody else's territory and take over. Okay. Now, this is before I even hung out at Barsmith. I had never been to Barsmith before. So a couple of months later, me and Dwayne Yoakley hooked up and we started doing a house fest out here. And we went to Barsmith to promote our party. And I heard these cats play, and I really think that the sets they played it for me because it was such a soulful set. Like it was like they were straight from the shot, like they were letting me know, dude, we know how to do this. So I had to get them big ups, and I had a whole new respect for them. But Jamie was the one that kind of pulled me to the side and was like, yo, dude, you can't be out here just wilding out, talking about people because you're from Chicago, and there's a lot of people out here from Chicago that are DJs. My man Mike Money is out here. DLott's out here doing her thing. Oh my God, it's so many other people out here. Damn, I can't even think of names right now. But it's a lot of cats out here doing their thing, man. So hopefully we can all, come together and get some things together. My man Ben jamming. Bruce Ivory is out here.
Mm.
So it's a lot of cats out here, man, that are huge in this game, So, and I understand everybody want to do their own thing, but I think if we could all get together, man, and just do something from Chicago with all of us together, a whole weekend or whatever, that would be dope.
Yeah, well, tell the folks once again about Depths of the Underground, how they can check that out and get attached to you when you're rapping.
Depths of the Underground, Super Saturday, every other Saturday. The next Super Saturday is September 3rd. So www.twitch.tv/Depths of the Underground. DJ Steve Madera, shout out to my man. Shout out to Geek Goddess, his lovely wife, the moderator. I got a couple of events coming up as well. Daytime Decibels starts September 10th. So I'm doing a day party, house music day party out in Avondale. So keep your ear to the streets for that. We also have the fall exhibition coming up at the park, our annual outside event. So keep your ear to the streets for that. But Depths of the Underground, every other Saturday, Super Saturday, Twitch TV.
I hear you. Hey, well, this has been fantastic, and it's been a blast hanging out with you, DJ Big Ken.
Hey, man. Oh, wait, no, I forgot to tell the story. So 2 weeks ago, on Depths of the Underground, I had to follow DLott. DLott played before me, and I'm like, man, now I got to play after this guy? Wow, let me really dig into my crates and come in with my A game. So, and it's funny because that's how me and you got caught back up on Depths of the Underground, DLott.
Yeah.
You were playing one day, and I'm like, wait a minute. And we kind of talked and figured out that we was monarchs and everything. So
yeah, because we got connected through Dewey, and Steve was on the show, but Steve couldn't do Saturday. Mm-hmm. And Dewey was at work, and Steve was at work, so we ended up doing it like during the week, taping it and showing it. And so that's kind of how, the whole Depths of the Underground thing came about. And me and DJ Dewey B have just been kind of hanging out and just really enjoying that, the community there. Really cool community there at Depths of the Underground.
It is. It's all about love. Everybody's humble. Oh, Boogie Knight is here too. That's who I couldn't think. Boogie Knight is out here too. Producer extraordinaire. So, again, man, I just thank you, DLott, for having me on. Dewey B, one of my inspirations as a DJ, man. I'm glad to see that you back in the game doing your thing.
And he about to do his thing. As soon as we hang up, DJ Dewey B is going to give us a little taste, and we look forward to that. So, hey, we appreciate everybody. Once again, this has been House Culture Conversations with yours truly, DJ DLott and DJ Dewey B, and our big-time guest, Big Ken. We're going to see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all. Peace, love and harmony. Until the next time.
Yep.
All right.